Good morning, welcome to the channel. Today we insulate again. Coffee first. Okay, we're back at insulating today. It's been a couple days since the last video. I still only have that one wall done and half the other one. So it has been a couple days. Yesterday was so hot, it was almost 40 degrees with the humidity, so I thought I would start a little earlier this morning, hence it being a little darker, and hopefully beat the heat before the shell heats up by noon. So I will suit up a little bit to protect myself this time. Last time I forgot to wear a long sleeve shirt or gloves. For me, this RockWool stuff doesn't irritate my skin that much, and I don't think it's as chemically infused as some of the other insulation materials out there, so I'm not too worried about the chemical side of things. From the actual material itself, it doesn't really irritate my skin that much, so I'll probably just put a long sleeve shirt on and not wear gloves. I've never had anything irritate my hands from this RockWool stuff. It is just spun rocks, I believe, like almost like a cotton candy machine where it spins at a high temperature and flings out in small strands and clumps it together upon impact and builds it out into the insulation bats. I believe that's how it's made. So it's a little more organic than some of the other materials out there. I couldn't find my mask last time either, so you probably saw me wearing a medical mask, which probably didn't do too much. I couldn't find my mask at all, so I ended up buying another one, a respirator, so I'll put that on as well. So we'll gear up here and get going. It's really just my forearms in the elbow area that gets irritated, if anything. I think because it's a little thinner skin, I don't know. So I got my long sleeve shirt on, which is just a light jacket. Got my safety hat on. Respirator. This one's only good for dust particles, not so much fumes, so I would wear another one if I were to be dealing with anything strong fume related, like stains or some paints or stuff. Make sure I hydrate here before I get going. Gets hot.
Pull it tight. These filters aren't the best quality, but
You probably can't really see anything where I'm going to start, so I'll just do it off camera and show you afterwards, and then when it gets a little brighter in here, I'll show you the rest. There's half a wall. So as far as insulation goes, it goes pretty easy. I just put a slit where a wire is. Obviously the ones where you don't have to make any cuts, they do go a lot quicker. And then for the receptacle, I just measure out the front, because they still want to insulate the back of the receptacle. And then I open up the mouth of the slit, fold it back up in, then you have a lovely insulated cavity. So it is somewhat straightforward in how you install it. For cutting around the wires, you do just like I said, you slit the back of it, fold up the bat into it. For receptacles, you just cut out the depth, make sure it's insulated behind. For pipes, you try and do a V notch, depending on which way the pipe is running and how the diameter of it. So again, it's well insulated around it and surrounding it. And then you just want to make sure you don't stuff the bat in too tightly. If it does need to be trimmed down an inch, trim it down. You probably have between half an inch and an inch of friction that you do want. So you do want a little oversized when you do cut it, but you don't want it so loose that it falls down, obviously. And then one thing that's really important for the next stage for the drywaller, which is me in this case, is to make sure none of the insulation is sitting up onto the stud. Like if there was a piece like this, I just created it, and it was onto the stud. When you screw your drywall in, it will blow out the drywall, and then you have an extra 30 minutes of patching that, making it look nice. So you want to make sure all the faces of the studs where you'll fasten drywall onto, it's all clean and there's no insulation on top squished in between the vapor barrier and the stud, or there's no odd nail or screw that's sticking out that will cause blowouts and make more work in the future. Fix that like that. It's easier if you squish one side of the bat in first and then push the other side in so it kind of snaps into place almost. How's it going? Good, how are you? Doing good. Survived the heat yesterday. So to cut this stuff, this is how I do it. Get my measurement. I use a board to squish the insulation a bit, just makes it a little easier to cut than having it loose. You can cut it loose. Also, they don't recommend using a razor blade like this. They say to use a serrated blade, but I don't have one, so I find this works. So I have my width cut. Got my receptacle cut. Got my wire cut.
Hey look, it's a thumbnail.
That does it. Let's take a look, see what it looks like, I guess. Quick tour. Okay. This whole wall is done except for this one cavity. The gas fitter needs access in there, so we'll just leave it open for it, makes it easier. This whole wall is done. It was already done before, but I insulated these headers. So all the headers are insulated now. The kitchen wall, there's a couple spaces I have to leave open for the gas fitter as well, for the stove and fridge. I'm not sure how he wants to run his pipes, so I left an extra couple open there so he has some options. Bathroom is all insulated, except for where that drain pipe is. We have to glue it together still. It's just sitting in there loosely. Utility room is done. That one didn't take too long, not much cutting there. And the bedroom. So that is pretty much it for the insulation, minus those few cavities that we'll get after the gas fitters in there, and some of the plumbing stuff there as well. But that does it for the majority of it, at least. Last episode on it. Again, it goes in pretty easily if the spaces are consistent. The things that take the most time are probably the cutting around the electrical and plumbing and into the corners. It's worth it at this stage to do it right, and insulation is pretty cheap comparatively to other costs of the building process, and it does a lot for what you get. So if you can maximize its efficiency, it's definitely worth it to take your time, do it right. So that does it for the insulation, except those few cavities. Yes. So what's next in there is a couple rough-in areas for the plumber, and got gas fitter and vapor barrier for the ceiling and walls. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.